Truck drivers and owner-operators, thank you for continuing to be the heroes of the supply chain. I'm Angela Roach, and this is Behind the Wheel, powered by HireMaster. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics released October transportation employment data indicating an increase in hiring in the truck transportation sector. According to the stats, an additional 13,200 employees were recruited for truck transportation positions during the month of October. The BLS recognized the increase of 13,200 jobs in the month of October as the third largest employment surge since 2012. Stats also reported that seasonally adjusted truck transportation jobs stood at 1,580,800 jobs in the month of September. With the hiring of more employees in the truck transportation sector, the BLS reported an additional 20,000 positions filled, totaling to 1,601,100 jobs in October. However, September's truck transportation employment data was still significantly less than the month before. September reported 1,587,800 jobs, while August reported 1,597,400 jobs. Although this isn't a drastic change, employment levels continue to fluctuate. If you're a driver in search of a new route, scroll over to HireMaster.com, where 85,000 job postings are waiting for you. Last week, we had a clip from Dr. Mark Manera of Supply Chain Fitness giving us tips for quick ab workouts while on the road. For this week's health and fitness tip, we go back out to Dr. Mark Manera for another great tip.
5 exercises every truck driver should do if they have achy knees out on the road.
Thank you for the great tip, Mark. You can find more tips from Mark on TikTok at Dr. Mark Manera. The freight pendulum always swings back, as they say. And after 2 years of elevated freight rates due to the pandemic, rates continue to drop on over-the-road freight in spite of fuel remaining historically high. Laval Transportation, which was a small owner-operator-focused carrier back in 2008, survived some of the toughest economic times this century by remaining driver-centric. According to CEO Randy Lavallee, his focus during that stretch and into today is to, quote, keep the owner-operators healthy, because at that time there were a lot of trucking companies that were dying off, dropping every quarter in big numbers, end quote. Lavallee took care of his drivers by paying just about every dollar they were receiving on loads after expenses to the drivers to ensure they made it through the recession without leaving the company or the industry. John Esparza, president and CEO of the Texas Trucking Association, echoed these comments and noting that trucking companies most likely to survive are the ones that stick with employees even as the risk compounds, knowing the pendulum will eventually swing back in their favor. These measures included taking out loans to make payroll and other creative ways to maintain a driver fleet. Another tip David Owen shared from his position as founder and president of the National Association of Small Trucking Companies is to control the controllables, including fuel surcharges and other operational costs, and implementing new technology to create efficiencies within the operations of each load. Every measure taken will make a little bit easier to retain drivers and be ready for the pendulum does swing the other direction. Also in the news this week, pent-up demand for new trucks has not slowed despite the economy slowing down, as Class 8 orders soared in October. The 42,500 trucks ordered was nearly double of what it was during October of last year, and the demand will most likely maintain higher than usual pricing for new equipment. The demand comes on the heels of truck manufacturers delaying delivery of trucks for the past 12 months, with Charles Roth of FTR stating, quote, October was the turning point for the Class 8 market. While we face headwinds in the freight market, overall fleet sentiment remains optimistic. Truck makers are now filling build slots well into Q2 and the early part of Q3 2023. End quote. October Class 8 order data did not include electric vehicles or EVs. In this week's Weather Watch, the National Weather Service has issued a tropical storm warning for the North and Southwest Atlantic, including the Bahamas. Subtropical storm Nicole is moving northwest with maximum sustained winds of 40 kT and gusts up to 50 kT. Scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms are to be expected. As far as the temperature outlook for the nation over the next few days, above average temperatures with highs into the 70s and 80s are forecast across much of the central U.S. Extending into the Midwest on Wednesday, conversely, frigid conditions are expected throughout the northern high plains of Montana and parts of the northern Great Basin. Antarctic air mass nosing southward from western Canada will spread widespread sub-freezing highs into the region, with lows below zero across northwest Montana. And that's going to do it for Behind the Wheel. I'm Angela Roach. Be sure to follow us on LinkedIn and subscribe on YouTube to catch each episode and leave us a like and a comment. We'll see you next time on Behind the Wheel, powered by HireMaster.